like half of his arm falling off.
But that was from the first like battle. That's from 4 episodes ago.
So Nosuke's got 4 episodes of him being stab wounded. No,
Well, welcome to the Mere Nonsense podcast, boys.
the near
The
nonsense.
the you know what
Dear Hansense.
I miss those days of Brad starting it off and being able to not pronounce it correctly.
I pronounce it correctly every time.
Debatable.
Playback, playback. Go look, go
Play it
look.
back.
Playback.
I'll play it back like when we get one more viewer.
Well, we might get 2 viewers. I had a couple
We
people
had-
ask me for it.
We had 8 views this week.
Nice.
Also,
Nice.
I am Billy. I am next or this week's. So, the one we filmed last week is going to be tomorrow at noon.
All right.
Testing algorithm type shit. So we'll see.
Okay, okay.
Does
When you
posting
upload
at
it.
noon help at all?
Right.
Obviously, with us having 0 viewers, it probably won't. But you never know.
It
Maybe
might.
it'll give us
Might.
1 or 2.
It might.
Wasn't that how we started originally? Was doing Mondays before we just tried out Fridays recently?
I for the first 8 episodes, I posted it Sunday nights as soon as we got,
Gotcha.
and then afterwards I sprinkled it between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now I'm gonna at least try Monday at noon. I'll see how that goes, and then maybe throw in a Tuesday or a Wednesday, depending on, maybe
Right.
just test the waters. But I think preferably people will, or I think it's usually a little bit better Fridays in the mid-afternoon. But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's not like we have fans to be pissed off with us, uploading it regularly.
Right. Taking a 2-month hiatus and whatnot.
At 2-month hiatus after our 2-month hiatus.
Yeah.
It's coming together though. The one thing that I've been debating is I don't like the logo I made for us. I just wanted that as a placeholder.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to probably stop making thumbnails. Just I don't like the thumbnails that I've been making. So
Maybe if you made better thumbnails, you'd like them.
or
maybe
we
if I had
we could
maybe
go
if I had
to
actually
Billy's
editing
artist
software.
friend,
Which one?
the one that did your stuff.
Yeah,
for
but that
Twitch.
took
Which
her
one?
literally
The
over
girl.
a year,
Well,
and then
no, because I
quit.
had a different person that did my emotes for Twitch, and I had a different person that did my profile picture for all the stuff that I use. I've had a couple different artist friends do different things. Plus, I know another person that I haven't commissioned personally for anything, but he does good work too.
What does he do?
I mean, he mostly does. Let's see if I can find some.
D's, sir.
Yeah, Sawcons. He's got all kinds of pictures from Sawcon.
Oh yeah, sock on
Yeah.
what?
Sawcon these nuts.
I just wanted to hear you say it. So, have you guys caught up on? Actually, Brad specifically, have you caught up on anything Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett?
Spoilers. That's it.
Spoilers.
I
Okay.
I pay attention to what Reddit says, what TikTok says. I don't.
Gotcha.
I haven't watched anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised Billy decided to binge the whole thing. I was just telling him to watch like 3 episodes. But
Hey man, you can't watch the last episodes and not have any context.
I mean, you kind of
Well,
can.
okay, the last 2, yes, you can.
You can after watching the last episode of season 2 of
Mando.
Mando. Yeah. But anyways, spoilers ahead for anyone. There was a lot of stuff going on in the Book of Boba Fett.
Mhm.
Specifically, the last 2 episodes, it kind of turned into the Mando show.
It's season 3. 100%, it's season 3.
Season
Yeah, right.
Mando.
But supposedly it's not coming back till, what is it, Christmas this year? I'm not sure. But anyways, so Mando ends up going to, I don't know, some like cyberpunk-ish type of city. And he ends up finding two of the other Mandalorians from the first season, the blacksmith lady, and then that big dude that had the minigun that had issues with him in the beginning. They find out that he has the dark saber, and kind of give us a little bit of backstory about the dark saber. And then the blacksmith lady ends up talking about how the spear that he has, like, they don't use that specific metal for weapons.
They don't use Beskar steel for armor.
They just
only use it for armor.
Yeah, they only use it for armor. So, she ends up melting it, and he asks her if she can make something for Grogu. And she's kind of like hesitant at first, and she's like, he's with his people now, don't worry about him. And Mando comes back with, but that's not our ethos. Our ethos is loyalty. And he said something else, but like, just the fact that, you're loyal to your people, pretty much, whoever it is that you want to call your people.
This is the way.
This is the way. And, she ends up making this little mithril armor for Grogu. Do you remember what the mithril armor looks like from Lord of the Rings? Brad?
It did make me think of
From Lord of the Rings, no. RuneScape, yes.
the armor that Frodo wears, the chainmail.
Oh yeah,
exactly
kind of white.
So they pretty much make that for Grogu. So that's pretty cool. But there was one, like, I'm just gonna skip a bunch of this shit because I really wanted to talk to you about it, at least because you're the Star Wars guy.
Nerd.
I don't know who dubbed me the Star Wars guy. You guys have watched more Star Wars than me at this
Yeah,
point.
but you have more tattoos of Star Wars than us.
You're the Star Wars guy, all right?
Okay, that just means that I've made worse decisions than you guys.
You wore the Mandalorian tattoo before Mando became popular.
It's not the Mandalorian. I do want the Mandalorian sigil, but I don't have the Mandalorian tattoo. No.
Same shit. Anyways.
Very different.
See, guys, see what I mean? He is the Star Wars guy. He would know the difference.
Case and point.
Go on.
So I don't remember from the original 3 movies that Luke was given a choice, because Luke ends up giving Grogu a choice. Mando ends up going to the planet where Grogu's training, and Ahsoka actually has like this talk with Mando. Pretty much, as a Jedi, you gotta not have feelings for other people or whatever. You pretty much live a life of solitude in some sort of way. And so he ends up leaving the present with Ahsoka, and she gives it to Luke. And Luke notices that Grogu's kind of struggling here and there with the training. So at one point, he ends up bringing him into a room, and he lays it out in front of him. He's like, here's this lightsaber. It was Yoda's. This could be yours too. But here's also this armor that Mando created for you. And you cannot have both. So I'm giving you the choice. You either get the lightsaber and become a Jedi and let go of everything else, or you let your emotions control you or whatever and choose the armor. And it cuts off there. So I don't remember at all if Luke was given a choice like that.
I mean, he didn't have a second side to choose from, so no.
Yeah, I mean, like, he had the choice of become a Jedi or don't, but I think it was heavily implied that he should become a Jedi.
Also, that's one thing that kind of bugs me about where the movies went with him, because he very much wasn't like, I want to be the religious zealot that the Jedis actually are. Like, he wanted to, get the power to beat his dad. He didn't want to, throw his feelings out or whatever. And he, I guess you could, some would argue that he did, others would argue he didn't. But I think no matter which way you look at it, he, in the future movies, they pushed him more so as a actual Jedi with because the whole thing behind the Jedi is like you said, no emotions, no attachment to anything. Um, the sequels did that, where he tried to detach himself from everything. Um, I I also hate how they wrote Luke in the sequels to begin with, but like even in episode 5 and 6, he had a lot of hatred towards his father, but also a little bit of compassion there towards the end, and it's just they were building him up to be not a full blown Jedi, but more kind of like a in between, not necessarily a gray Jedi because that's a completely different thing, but they were building him up to not be like you know
The usual Jedi.
the new revival
Mhm.
of the
Yeah.
Jedi, because that would be that he actually is basically becoming a monk, you know.
Right.
Uh, but I don't know.
But also because
Um,
he's technically the only one at that point. He could almost just build it, which is what he was doing in the sequels, build it the way he feels like it should have been built as a Jedi
right,
temple, I guess, or
yeah,
more Jedi Knights.
because the Jedi's were not perfect in their ways. They put the Jedi Order, and it's basic. It's religion. They're putting their religion over everything else. Um, some could argue that not that Sidious didn't do anything wrong, but that him taking over and trying to make like a galactic empire or whatever wasn't the worst thing he could have done, because at this point it was kind of like the Jedi were like secretly in control of everything.
Mhm.
But if you didn't want the Jedi control, you didn't have any say in it, type deal. But because they were used as diplomats. Um,
Yeah.
Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Um, the very first scene of him and Qui Gon in the Separatist spaceship.
Him
Uh,
being Obi-Wan.
yeah, him being Obi-Wan and being, oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Um, that was them. They were supposed to be diplomats for the Separatists, being like, hey, yo, follow the rules or else we're gonna fuck shit up. And what they do, they fuck shit up.
Right.
So,
I mean, one of
um,
them did.
both of them did.
One of them
What are
got
you
chopped
talking
in
about?
half.
2 hours into the movie, not at this point. No, okay, the one who chopped it in half was taking down like fucking 6 layers of a door with his fucking lightsaber. You don't remember that? Qui-Gon was a
Okay,
beast. Don't tell me
he
otherwise.
was, but he also died. He's like the first major character to die.
So, one cool thing that I actually watched recently, I'm not caught up on Clone Wars or Rebels or whatever,
Hmm.
but as we all know, Darth Maul lived that attack. Um, I guess throughout the Clone Wars, he was an antagonist, and
Hmm.
I think this was in Rebels. They wind up. Darth Maul winds up on Tatooine again with an older Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they have a stare down. They're talking, and he's like, "Why would you be on this planet again? What are you protecting?" And then it like you see it click in his face, and he's like, "Who are you protecting?" And then Obi-Wan, all you see is the blue from his lightsaber, and he uses Qui-Gon Jinn's stance, and then to his own, and then Darth Maul does the same exact attack he used against Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan took him down with that.
Oh shit.
And then it goes into Darth Maul dying and saying, is he the chosen one? And Obi-Wan's like, yes, he is. And it's because he's protecting Luke from afar, because this is when Luke was still a kid growing up.
So I feel like Star Wars is one of the few, I guess, series or universes, whatever you want to call it, that people almost have more of a love towards the bad guy than the good guy. Um, I
I feel
feel
like
like
that argument can be made about a lot of series, though.
yeah, but it's not like I mean, come on, when you think of Darth Vader, like everyone knows he's a bad guy, but everyone thinks he's like one of the coolest fucking dudes out there.
It's because he
Not
is.
yeah, yeah. Not everyone thinks that way about like all these other shows like yeah or movies, you know, like yeah, someone else could be like for example, Green
Thanos is cool.
yeah, Thanos is cool or Green Goblin's cool probably just because of the actor portraying him, stuff like that. But, you know, when you think Darth Vader, like I mean, everyone's just like fuck, dude is cool as
I
fuck.
see your point. I see your
But
point.
I think there
do
might be
you
a little bit more emotion behind that, though.
yeah,
Continue.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. You guys think that like with all these I wouldn't say spin-offs, cuz I'm pretty sure they're trying to do their own thing, but like you know, with the Obi-Wan and stuff, do you think it would almost be beneficial to them to like create some sort of bad guy show, kind of like The Apprentice from the Star Wars Unleashed?
I think it would pay out really well.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good move. I mean, both
Because so
financially and PR related for them, definitely, but also for the viewer's standpoint, like getting to see the same struggles that they see on the sides of the light with the sides of the dark, you know.
what I am interested in seeing is um, episode 3 ends. Anakin gets chopped up to bits on Mustafar, and then he's put in the actual iconic Vader suit. Um, but what we don't see between episode 3 and episode 4 is him, one, getting stronger with the dark side, but two, he was angry. He was a mad dude.
I hate you.
Right. So he held a lot of fucking angst towards the Jedi and everything, and it became his sworn duty to make sure all the Jedi were dead. So Order 66, as we've seen, did not kill all of the Jedi. So there is an entire arc of Vader's life where he was actually tasked to hunt down and kill all the Jedi that he could find, and in the most brutal ways that he could.
Hmm.
And so the whole thing with the Sith is it's the rule of two. The rule of two is there can only be two Sith, no more, no less. The reason for that is because the apprentice always takes over the master. That way, the next generation is always stronger. Um, Darth Vader is generations ahead of, and he's supposed to be one of the strongest Siths to ever exist. And there's a part there where we don't see angsty ass Anakin slash Vader that's just so fucking angry that's going and killing everybody, you know? I would love to see that, but that'd be a bit brutal for Disney.
Don't they portray that in one of the Force Unleashed games? Like, isn't that the whole background story of one of the main characters?
And I don't know. I just know Starkiller is fucking insanely powerful. He's one of the strongest characters to ever be in Star Wars.
Yeah, because it's like the first mission is you play as Vader to kill a Jedi, and you find like a youngling with that or a Jedi apprentice, and I think it becomes Starkiller, and he like converts him to the dark side. I think
Something
I
like
don't know.
that.
It's been a
I
long time since I've touched it.
I never watched or I never played. I only played through a little.
Hmm.
All I know is or not canonically, but Starkiller is supposed to be like one of the top strongest Sith to have ever existed in the show.
It's funny, I
Or in
never
the
played those games,
universe.
but I was introduced to him through Soul Calibur 4 because they had the Star Wars characters in there, and he
Yeah.
was the only character I played as for the longest time.
I never played it, but I heard Yoda was really annoying to play
Oh, yeah.
against.
OP, smallest hitbox in the world.
I
And
mean,
like,
that's his strongest suit.
yeah, and like all of his attacks were involving jumping too. So like,
Yeah.
you just couldn't hit him unless you were playing as like Siegfried or Nightmare with the big ass fucking Buster swords.
Can we talk about his fights in episode 2 and 3 where he's just do
Oh, yeah.
A
just
little fucking
yeah.
pinball.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember actually watching it in theaters. Episode 2. I was watching a different movie, I think it was the first Spider-Man. I was watching that, and then when it finished, I jumped over into the room for episode 2 because my brother and his friend were watching it. And I just remember walking through, and there were just like so many people there. Like people were legit standing, like in that entrance hallway. People were sitting on the steps. Like there were just so many people watching it. And then as soon as Yoda comes in, everyone just starts clapping away. And then he brings out his lightsaber and like fucking he starts fighting and everyone's just going ape shit. Everyone's just like, yeah, Yoda, yeah. Everyone's clapping, having the time of their lives. Like I'm never gonna forget that.
It's cool.
I think like
I
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think the closest thing to that I've seen is the end game with Captain America getting Thor's hammer.
On your left. Oh, that, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
dude, that gave me chills. So that, and Billy, did you watch No Way Home yet?
Oh shit! Is that the newest one?
It's the newest
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
No, I haven't seen it, but I don't care for spoilers.
Okay, so that I put that on par with what you said, the Thor hammer thing, which is nuts. But then I take that and I put that with the scene from No Way Home where all three Spider-Men are in the air simultaneously, zipping off of each other, and
Oh, yeah.
doing the fucking their own. They all three of them land, and they're all doing their own specific poses from their
Yep.
series. Oh god, man, that was so good. That, well, I guess that, but also the other scene where they first show Andrew Garfield and they show Toby.
Yeah. That was awesome to watch.
Dude, that brought a tear to my eye. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah. Oh,
Every
dude.
time I think of Tobey Maguire now, I just think of Dark Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Dark Spider-Man. the two most memorable things for me, at least, in that movie, was when Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saves MJ, and then
Oh,
yeah, instead of Tom Holland Spider-Man.
yeah.
And then like before all that fight happens, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is just like, man, you guys had all these cool things happen to you, blah blah blah. The weirdest thing that happened to me is just I fought a guy in a metal rhino suit or whatever, and he's just like feeling down, and then Tobey Maguire is just like, no man, you're
amazing.
yeah, you're amazing. Like that was pretty cool.
I love the part. So the one that I was hoping for and they put in was them being really weirded out by Toby's webs, because his webs actually come from his wrists,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the other two, it's a mechanism that they created.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew Garfield's actually like ran out a lot from web shooters. So them kind of being weirded out by that. There's something else in there.
That question in there, does it come out of any other places?
Well, spiders usually have it come out of their ass.
Yeah, right.
He probably doesn't have to take shits anymore.
Also, when there was that part where Andrew said "I love you guys," that was improvised. That was genuine. It was just him being in the moment and just being like, I love you guys." That's
Right.
why Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire were kind of just like, "Thanks, man. You too."
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like the Spider-Man just have these good improvised moments.
Yeah.
Like going back
in
to
their
Infinity War
character
with Tom
design,
Holland,
too.
when he's just like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Like apparently that whole scene was improvised. I still remember watching it the first time. Like I legit had a tear come out of my eye. I was just like, holy fuck, dude.
Right. A lot of people think that because he has the spider sense, he knew he was dying before he actually died.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, when you think about that, that's even sadder.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's why it was taking him a little while longer to fade away.
Right?
Yeah, because his whole thing was that like his spider sense lets him know when he's in danger, so it was just pounding away.
Danger, danger, danger.
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
So did you guys
Billy, can you
see-
explain? Or I'm derailing. So what were you gonna say, Z?
I was just go ahead.
Billy, can you explain how your week in Yu-Gi-Oh has gone?
How my week in Yu-Gi-Oh has gone?
With how you've been one shot just fucking twice.
I mean, well, I mean, I've been one shot a couple of times, but the one shots by one monster,
Yeah.
where both times the guy pulls out an XYZ monster, and one of them that had the effect of add all of the attack points of all face up monsters on the field, and he attacked me with a 10,100 attack monster. Mind you, you start with 8,000 life points. And then the other guy it was like detach one material, gain attack equal to all of like the Galaxy Photon Dragons. I think face up on the field or something like that. It was something with the Galaxy Photon Dragon. And he had 11,000 attack. Mind you, the card started with 2,000 attack.
Nice. You gotta love
I saw a TikTok yesterday. This guy got one turned. It was he had a card effect. It was like a trap card that makes it so any card that gives life points actually takes away. So he just had a bunch of cards of like the roll a dice, gain 600 life points or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. Or,
it. Oh
Mhm.
shit.
like he had a bunch of those and just one shot the guy for 8,000 life points.
Oh damn. You know,
What about
for seeing Billy get one shot, like it was hilarious, but I don't think you were there to see him win by accident against an Exodia deck.
He was there laughing.
Were you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was-
Oh
He
my
was there
god.
laughing.
This guy, how unfortunate do you
Well,
have
that
to
was the
be?
guy who surrendered at the end.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He
because
Yeah, he
his
had
last
4
card was
cards
the
left.
last piece.
He had four pieces in his
cards
hand. He
left.
had four. So he started with 40 cards in his deck. I had a strong line. I was like, no way anything he pulls out is going to be able to stop this. I've got my top monster. I've got Eternal Souls. So, like, I'm good. I'm set. And then I've got a couple, like Dark Magicians out. Like, I've got a strong wall and a decent back row to support. And he puts down a Toon Table of Contents first card. So I'm like, okay, he's got a Toon deck. And he goes through, and then as I'm noticing on and on, like there's no Toon monsters, there's no
he
Toon
had
anything.
one Toon Blue Eyes.
Yeah, he had a
Blue
Toon
Eyes.
Blue Eyes for the effect of discard a level 8 monster, draw 2 cards.
Yep.
And all I was seeing was discard this, draw hands. And then he played one card twice where it was
Magical library. So every single
Magical
spell
Library
card,
was every time you add a spell,
Yeah, yeah.
every time you play a
he
spell,
gets
you
a
get a
spell
spell
counter.
counter,
Yeah,
and you remove 3 from it, and you can draw a card.
but he was using that as well the entire time.
Well, yeah, because all he did was use spell cards to let him draw. But the two I was going to talk about was the discard your entire hand and draw the same amount of cards equal to your hand, but no, it was like add cards to your hand, but at the end of the turn, discard your hand.
You have to banish them or whatever.
Yeah. And
That's
he
what
went
fucked him at the
through
end.
and he's just playing. He played it twice, played. I shit you not, last 4 cards, and I'm like, is this it? His turn ends, his cards go away, and he instantly surrenders.
He had we were watching the cards go into the graveyard from his hand, and we saw 4 pieces of Exodia, and that 5th one had to have been one of the last 4
It
cards
was the
in
head.
in his deck. Yeah. How
That is so
fucking unfortunate.
Yeah.
And the guy doesn't even like wait for Billy to kill him. He just surrenders.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a fast surrender too. Like this guy has rage quit before. Like click 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 click.
Right.
Or Alt 4.
Or Alt F4,
He took,
right?
he took what, all of 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Well-
that was the longest turn I've ever. But you know what? It's kind of funny because that's the longest turn that someone's had where they're actually active during their turn, instead of someone spending 8 minutes reading cards and
Yeah.
card effects.
Yeah, they could have spent that entire
I
time
rage
just
quit a
doing
duel
that.
because of that.
I was in the
so-
channel with you.
Yeah, I was in a game. I was playing my Harpy deck, and I had Harpy sisters, and I think it's the not the link, but whatever the fucking white
The
cards are.
synchro.
Synchro. I had my
Mhm.
synchro one down, the 2600 attack one down, and this motherfucker took, I want to say, 5 actual minutes to go through his turn just to destroy, or he's summoned 7 cards total, ended the round with 4 on the field. Ended up destroying my monsters, whatever, brought me down to like 2,000 attack or 2,000 life points or something, and I'm like, fucking whatever. So I put down 1 defense monster. He starts clicking. Oh, I'm sorry. I Raigeki'd. So I killed all 4 of those monsters. I laid 1 face down defense monster, and he starts the process again. And I'm about 30 seconds into this, and I just rage quit. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and watch. Like, there is a small chance I'm gonna come back and win this. I am not gonna sit here and wait for you to do it.
I had something similar like that where it was just taking too long for his turn, and then it comes my turn, and I already have my own like strategy of what to do, so like 1 card after another. But the problem was, after every single card I played or everything I did, like it would ask him, if he wanted to use a hand trap or whatever, and he would just take forever to respond with that. And each time I played, I was just like, you know what, it's too much for me. So I ended up raging.
Yep. It's just the people that take so long with everything, and I think it's a lot of people constructing their decks and still getting used to them and not knowing what everything does. But then there's also this subset of people that they just take their time to be dicks. Like, there are people who would just
Yeah.
sit there and like look through everything and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Right.
So there's an online Pokemon game. I forgot, Pokemon Showdown. It's literally a website. Has all the Pokemon in it or whatever. You can start with your own team and you could play other custom teams, or what a lot of people do is they just do randoms. There is a timer, and people will sit there, and if they know they're losing, they'll just wait the timer out until the last second, do their attack, switch their monster, whatever, and then do it again. And the timer's something like, it's like 6 minutes or some shit ridiculous. And people just do that when they know they're losing because they want to outweight. That reminds me of a TikTok I saw the other day, Z. So people are getting really pissed about Power Struggle right now because or not Power Struggle. What's the one with the horse symbol? Is it Power Struggle? It's a survivor perk, lets you wiggle and makes the killer move more when you wiggle.
Oh, boil over.
Boil over. So people are getting pissed at boil over because boil over is OP now, I guess.
Really?
So this killer, killed 3 people, and the last person kept on going up to like a corner of the map where if you have boil over, like, you're gonna escape every time, and he just kept doing that over and over and over. So eventually, the killer ended up trapping the guy in a corner and just stood there. So the guy couldn't move or anything, get out of the way. He couldn't dead hard through or anything. So the guy showed a video of him in that corner, pulling up Dead by Daylight and outweighting him by playing killer on PC while he's on console as Survivor. So he's playing killer on PC and he's playing multiple games. It's like 2 hours go by before the killer finally.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
That is fucking insane.
God.
That reminds me of a game we played with Scott, or it was just me and Scott, and Scott and one random were the last 2 alive. The killer was tunneling Scott for like maybe a good, 20 minutes or so. And in those 20 minutes, that random did not do the last gen at all. And then Scott finally got killed, and then, random ended up getting killed because trash. Like,
there was I don't remember what happened, but I remember it was me and Scott and 2 randoms. It was a spirit was the killer, and I was doing gen like you know me. I would just do gens. I was like the kind of like I would run and fucking do everything kind of guy. So I'm doing gens. Someone gets hooked. I went tried to get the guy off the hook. Got the guy off the hook. Ended up getting hooked myself. They let me go down through 2 stages on the first hook, and then they finally. I think Scott finally managed to get me off because the killer was on him the entire time. Scott gets me off. I believe Scott ends up dying, so it's down to me and the 3 randos. Um, so I do what I normally do, and I just go up to the killer and I start teabagging. I'm like, hi. And then she downs me, and then she leaves me alone. And she goes and gets those guys when they're trying to do gens. And uh, I think for the very first one, they healed me, but I did have Unbreakable. So they healed me, and I get up, and I look at the killer, and I start pointing. I'm like, hey, they're over there. And she downs me again. And then so she's just playing. I don't know what the fuck she's doing with these two, but these guys aren't doing gens. She has a really good 3 gen lockdown. There's 1 gen left. She has a really good 3 gen lockdown, but these guys aren't even trying to do the gens. And I think at some point in the game, Spirit realized that I was the only one trying, because she saw me doing the gen at one point and went fuck it, and then went away, and then started to go after them. And then they ran towards me. She looked at me. She downed me again. And then she's, trying to go hook these guys. So finally, I'm crawling away, finally bleeding out, to go try to find the hatch. The Spirit kills both. Hatch opens in front of me. And then she comes over and she looks at me. And then she walks away and lets me have hatch.
I love
But this
whenever
went on
stuff like that
for
happens.
actually probably 40 to 45 minutes. A game of Dead by Daylight should be 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 or 15, something like that.
Yeah.
I hate it when people are like that, man. But
I
it's been a
I
while
touched
since I played that game.
once. Yeah, same. I touched that game once like 2 months ago. Didn't go back. I am happy not playing it for a long time.
Same, though. Did you guys
Ooh.
hear last week Rockstar actually announced or confirmed that they're working on GTA 6?
I confirmed that a while back.
No. Like, legit confirmed that they're working on it. Not that they're going to make it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that also means that that's gonna come out in 7 years. But
yeah, who knows?
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't fucking care about GTA. I tried GTA 4 and GTA 5. I never touched San Andreas. Apparently San Andreas is like
San Andreas is the best.
the baby, like everyone loves it. I
Yeah.
did not like 5 or 4.
Yeah, for people, it's between that or Vice City. I've heard
Yep.
people say Vice City was the best, and I'm like, all right, man, do you? But the fifth one was just too fucking goofy for me. Like, they get pretty serious in the fourth one, and then in the fifth one, everyone is just goofy all around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
I'm okay with the goofiness. Like I like what's that game that's like it? Saints Row.
Saints Row.
Fucking love Saints Row 3, dude. Game's so fun.
Well, I think there might be also a difference between goofy and like fucking absurd, because you can literally get superhuman powers in Saints Row 3. You can fucking fly across the map. 3, 4, all of them.
Also, 4 is specifically superpowered. And I remember, so I played Saints Row. I love Saints Row 3. And then Saints Row 4 came out it was like on Xbox Games with Gold or whatever, so I got it for free. And I loaded up, and I don't remember what I did or how I did it, but there was a super speed power that you could use. But there was a way to keep stacking it. And I found a really long road, and I just kept stacking it, running and running and running and running to the point where my game crashed. I loaded it back up and it deleted my save file. So haven't touched 4 much at all.
I remember playing the second one of Saints Row, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. They definitely like turned it up like 5 notches to the craziness in 3.
Because I always remembered Saints Row was kind of like the Mafia games were to the Godfather games, if you played any of those. Like it was another version of it, of a similar storyline, but it wasn't like, I don't know, like it wasn't really that different. And as it went on, like Saints Row just got more and more ridiculous, more and more absurd, whereas GTA is still doing the same thing they've been doing.
GTA is ridiculous, but could still happen in real life. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So like by what's his name, Trevor. Trevor is
Mm-hmm.
just so fucking through the roof, but I love his character.
He's
Like I love there's like a side quest or a quest or something in the game. This is like one of my favorite lines is something about like him talking with his boss or something. He's like, so, I'm arguing with my boss and I kind of got a little angry. So he started getting angry at me. So then I still got even a little more angry. And he's like, "What'd you do? Did you kill him?" He's like, "What do you mean? I'm not a fucking animal." And he's standing next to his trunk at this point to his car, and he's like, "What do you mean? I'm not a fucking animal? I didn't kidnap his wife though." And then opens up the trunk, and his wife's in the fucking.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. I think the only memorable thing that I had with Trevor was just that in the fourth one you got to play this DLC called The Lost and the Damned. So you played as a biker, and that same biker made it into GTA 5, and he was there in the introduction of when you finally got to play as Trevor at that trailer park, and he just stomped that dude's head in and killed him.
Yep.
I like so in 5 you play through the 3 characters, and when you switch characters it does like this kind of eagle eye shot and then goes into one of the characters doing some daily life activity. So Michael will usually be at home with his wife or something, or like driving after work or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What's the black guy's name?
Is it Franklin?
Franklin, yeah. So Franklin, kind of similar thing. He'd be hanging out at his house, his apartment, whatever. But then you go to Trevor, and Trevor's always like, like naked, like he's always down to his whitey tighties, and he's always like drunk somewhere in like a fucking garbage can or some shit, like
yeah. He's
or he's in the middle of like a shootout for no fucking reason all the time.
Yeah, his character is probably like the best one out of all 3 of them.
Definitely funny,
The
but
most dynamic.
I
don't know. I'm just not the biggest GTA guy.
I'm curious if GTA 6 is gonna last as long as GTA 5 did, and do another 3.
I hope not.
3 consoles.
What are they? They got to be coming up on like their 10-year anniversary, right?
I think.
Like GTA in general or GTA 5?
5. Specifically 5.
GTA 5. When did that one come out? Was it 2012? 2013. All right.
So next year it's gonna be out for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's between them and Skyrim just butting fucking heads of like, no, who's gonna milk the game more until their sequel comes out?
Didn't
Skyrim's winning right now.
Didn't Skyrim just release something for their like 10-year anniversary or some shit?
Skyrim 10-year anniversary, yes.
The deluxe edition.
Yeah, Skyrim I think is like, it's like the second or third best selling game in the world. Outdone by, I think, Minecraft is number 1.
Damn. And that's, you can mod the fuck out of Skyrim too. Like
Skyrim, yeah.
Oh,
you can mod GTA as well, but not like Skyrim.
I think with GTA always has been the in-game cheats that are like already something you could use. Like I remember watching my cousin play when I was little, and he would, just spawn a jet out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
He would get a 5-star, spawn a jet, and just start killing people with a jet.
I loved spawning a tank in the middle of nowhere, just destroy people.
Yeah,
but
I remember playing GTA 5. There's a military base, and I would always try to steal a plane and get out of there with it, and it never worked out. They always shot you down.
I know in GTA 3, before you could get to like the next area in the map, they would have the bridge like broken or destroyed. So I would always spawn I think they called it a dodo because it didn't have wings. The plane did not have wings, but you can try to fly it, and it would fly or glide for a little bit, but then it would just fall straight down. And I would always try to jump the fucking bridge with that thing, and it would never work.
That's amazing. So I really like to watch Achievement Hunter in the past, and one of their series was they had a couple series I really liked, but one of them was kind of just like a challenge series. One person would like hold a belt, and they would like challenge him to a game, and it was like actual challenges. So one of the challenges was escape the GTA base with a plane intact. And they would just be them doing that for like 30 minutes until one person was finally able to escape with it.
Right.
The other series I really liked, it was called Go. Jeff, who is one of the not CEO, but one of the top dogs at Rooster Teeth, would set up this game called Go, where he just had a challenge in his head. He would have everyone in the room, and he would say, "Kill a zombie, go." And it was up to them, are they going to load up Call of Duty zombies? Are they going to load up Dead Rising? But who could do it fastest? It turned into, especially when the Xbox One came out, it turned into who has the game installed, who has their Xboxes updated. So it would turn into someone sitting there in the 360 just fucking waiting for the 360 to update. And the other guy's like, loading into the game. But it was all over the place. I loved it.
See, that's the type of speedrunning I'd be into.
Yeah. And it was fun. It'd be so hard now, but I think eventually they integrated PC and PlayStation, so they could just be like, yeah, go kill a zombie, and then someone would like load it up on PC because PC is the fastest or whatever. So kill a zombie was really that's like an easy one, but there were some like fucking obscure ones, like go kill a guy with a red shirt. Not armor, a red shirt. And it did like all the time. Oh, go kill a guy with a red shirt, but don't play GTA because GTA had like so much of that.
Damn.
It actually did get to the point where they made a stipulation that they cannot use GTA. The funniest one.
Why would you want to use GTA though? The load times are so slow.
You're right, but there's so much you could do in that game though. So one of my favorite moments was Ray Narvaez Jr. He is like the achievement hunter. He has he's got like 3 million gamer score right now. He's like one of the top 5 people in the world with gamer score.
God damn.
But that was a thing back in the day too. Like he was like an achievement hunter. That was his thing. There was a point where they said get an achievement was the go. But he turned to Ray and went, "You cannot use your second account." So he had to use his account, and he's scrolling through, and he's 100%ed all of these fucking games. He's like, "I don't know what to fucking do." And they're like, it was like one of the times of the year where like no new games came out either. So it's not like he could just buy a game and go get it. No, he just he couldn't get any achievements.
Jesus.
So fucked.
Yeah.
What a good strategy for stuff like that. Like that's so much fun. I don't think you could ever really run out of ideas, I guess, when it comes to stuff like that. Like that's just
no.
That's
and
really fun.
It would be obscure shit, but then it would also be like specific to like, go fly or go run a ghost in Halo off a cliff.
Right.
But then it would also be up to you, do you play Halo 1, 2, 3? Where do you find a ghost? At what point of the game do you know where there's a ghost just off the top of your head? Stuff like that.
Or you could be a cheap bastard and play a local multiplayer and just have that on there.
That's true. But then
Yes.
you have the RNG of am I gonna get a map with a ghost?
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Oof.
So that's
Imagine.
like all the shit you have to consider when you're doing that.
Did it get a
That's-
ghost? Oh, time to fucking reload.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of ghosts,
Oh no.
guess
Call of Duty Ghost
what?
2.
Yeah, right.
You,
Could you imagine?
you
that?
got a freaking.
I'd be the only one that buy it because like everyone else hated it except for me.
I
I
would
mean,
buy
Ghost
it
was
for the
alright.
campaign.
Yeah. If it at least had a fucking campaign on like Battlefield.
You know what's funny? So besides this last Modern Warfare game that came out, I think that one and Modern Warfare 2 were the only COD games that I actually played and beat campaign.
You
I've
never
always
beat
played
Modern Warfare 3 campaign?
No, I was actually halfway into it, and then you told me about what happened at the end, and I was like, all right, I don't need to know about it. Or I don't need to do anything.
it.
So, yeah, I never
This
finished
is
the
like
one for Modern
lazy
Warfare 3.
gaming.
That last mission is so much fun though.
And like
Because
it got
you
me
go in
curious
guns
too.
blazing.
Yeah, it got me curious too because of the way you explained it. So I just looked it up on YouTube. I'm like, all right, well, there's that.
But also the way I forgot who the guy you're killing is. What his name is.
Makarov.
Makarov?
Was it Makarov? Okay.
Yep.
The way Makarov dies is so dope where you're on the glass ceiling and there's a rope that's attached like a helicopter or some shit. The glass ceiling breaks, you wrap it around his throat as you're falling through the glass ceiling, and he just hangs. Oh, it's so good.
Yup. That's cool as fuck. I'm
I forget,
still
for that mission, were you playing as?
Price. Because
You were-
Soap's dead.
Well, I was gonna say, were you playing as Price or were you playing as the Russian?
Price.
It was Price.
Yeah, you were Price.
yeah, you were
So
fighting the Russian.
I remember. No, because
Yeah,
there was another Russian who was there with you at the beginning.
Yeah, it's your friend.
I can't remember. Well, it wasn't your friend. It wasn't it someone that Soap trusted
ally.
and Soap died because
It
of him?
was not Makarov.
No, the fuck was it?
Is it the guy from Modern Warfare 1 where you're in that
Nic-
fucking mission
No,
after
it's not
you save?
Nikolai.
Not Nikolai. Nikolai's the guy you save, I think. And then there's a
Yeah,
guy.
Nikolai's the guy you save and the guy
There's
that
a
like
guy
flies
who
you out.
helps you save him.
Well, Nikolai is like after you save him, he's like Price's biggest asset. And Fred. No, this is like a big burly Russian that like he worked with Makarov back in what's the ghillie mission?
At this point, you're pretty much asking
gillied
yourself
up.
questions because none of we're not gonna know the answer to that, Billy.
You guys don't know all gillied up?
I know all gillied up, yes.
So Makarov was with the big Russian guy in that mission.
The bald guy,
What was his name?
the one that you shoot his arm off.
No, that was Zakhaev. He wasn't Russian.
But we were all gillied up. Anyways, while Billy's trying to figure that out,
Fucking bugged me.
because
It's not
no one
fucking
actually
Nikolai.
gives a
Price
shit.
and Yuri.
Yuri, that's who
It
it
is
fucking
Yuri.
was.
Yuri
It's the guy.
Boyka.
That's the guy from MW1.
Yuri
Wait.
Boyka.
When? The guy you
The-
rescued was Nikolai.
Right, but you got help from the Russians, and that's Yuri.
Was it? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I am 90% sure.
Shut
Yeah,
your poor mouth, Z.
Billy.
You don't fucking know.
Imagine playing the campaign and not remembering it.
You wouldn't even
Like,
play the campaign.
Exactly, but I remembered it after Brad said it.
No, did you know?
Yeah. I didn't even have to play the campaign to know.
Yeah, bullshit.
No. Weren't they supposed to be doing Modern Warfare 2 for the next game?
Supposedly, yeah.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
Infinity Ward.
Okay.
But, so, a lot of the pros are wanting jetpacks back.
Yeah,
You.
fuck the pros.
Yeah, fucking so Scumpy's like, let's get jetpacks, But then I see people screenshotting his tweet from 2017 where he says jetpacks are the worst thing to ever happen to Call of Duty.
Yes.
Like you fucking assholes are never happy,
Right.
I am okay with jetpacks depending on how they do it. I like Black Ops 3 jetpacks. I do not like Infinite Warfare jetpacks.
And that's kind
But
of my biggest pet peeve. I wouldn't even say pet peeve. My biggest beef with like video games right now, the industry, is the fact that like games that have like really big multiplayer or battle royales or whatever, like they they tend to listen too much to the pros, and it's kind of fucking
agree.
dumb. Like
Siege,
they get it to the
Apex,
they get it to the point where they listen to the pros so much that it's not even casual anymore. It's just too many hardcore players in that game now.
Hmm.
And there's just like no room for fun casual times. Which I mean, to be fair, like what really is casual besides like raging when you die right away, but
What was that fucking? There was like a meme that was like, "Come home from work after a long day of work, ready to play your game and relax. Get shit on by 15-year-old that's been playing the game all day. Ah, yes, this is my life
while
now."
he says he banged your mom in the
Yeah,
process.
well, he says he baked your mom.
that's us with Apex right now, Z.
Yeah.
But so I think the money move would be MW2. I my hope would be MW2 remastered or a remake of what we used to have, but logically it would be just MW2, so a sequel to the 2019. Which, if they did that, I'd still be okay with it because I did like MW.
Yeah.
But give me some MW2 maps, at least.
Or
You know,
weapons.
give me
Bring back the fucking ACR, dude.
give me the ACR.
Like,
Give me,
how long
the
have
scar.
people...
The scar from this
The
MW is
intervention.
great.
Yeah,
Have
it
you
was
found
awesome.
that?
It was awesome.
Oh, intervention. Fuck yeah.
The
Bring
fact that they
back
brought
the
back the fucking
intervention.
SCAR, but not the fucking ACR, like, how long have people been asking for the ACR? And they're just like, no, we'll give you the SCAR. Yeah.
Last time we saw the
So
ACR was MW3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
ACR is pretty OP though. Like, how do you balance that fucking gun? Because it's supposed
I
to
mean,
be an
so was the
absolute
M4, and then they
laser.
just nerfed it to the ground. I mean, I wouldn't say to the ground, but, you know,
Well, they nerfed it
a
in
lot of...
at least
Yeah.
in Warzone.
So, I mean, that's another thing, too. If I remember correctly, they said they were going to do a Warzone 2.
I did see something about that.
And if that's the
Which
case, like, a clean slate, would that... How would they go about that? Like, with all the money that people have spent in the other game? Like, I don't know.
well,
Kind of indifferent
I mean,
about it, but at the same time, like, I'm also okay with it.
milk Warzone for as long as you can, and then drop a Wars. I mean, that'd be kind of like no, that's a bad example. I don't know.
It's just
I don't know.
too...
How the fuck would you do that? I
The
don't know.
first Warzone right now is just too cluttered. Like, with the amount of shit that they've added onto it, it's too cluttered, and it's just... I don't know.
Just give me some bare bones ass battle royale gameplay. Drop me on a fucking map without a gun.
Warzone 2, that's
I don't
what
want
it
to
should
start
be.
with a gun.
Yes.
Drop me without a fucking gun. Let me go and build my goddamn gun. I want to be able to find a fucking ACR on the ground, go, oh, here's a barrel. Oh, do I want this barrel or do I want this silencer? Go grab that. Okay, now, oh, there's a not even like a level 2 barrel, but like a stock, like you're just building a fucking gun.
Right.
Like, that's what PUBG did right. That's what I like.
I mean, that's what
PUBG still
the
has.
the majority of them do that, right?
I mean, Apex to an extent. PUBG has like the most customization in game that you can do, because it's, you can find a muzzle brake or a flash hider or a silencer. You can get the options of those, and you build the gun that you want eventually if you can
Right.
find the stuff. Apex is, I mean, you only have the option of getting a barrel just leveled up or a stock leveled up. Fortnite was, you just find
Different tier
Guns.
weapons.
a blue AK
So
or
how
a purple
Warzone
AK.
has it right now.
I
Yeah,
didn't think it was a purple AK. It was like a
well,
blue
it would,
KA, a purple whatever, like a gold scar.
yeah. So it would be. I mean, you could get a white AK, a blue AK, a green AK, and then the purple gun would be like a M4 or whatever the fuck version of it'd just be a better gun. And then yes, the gold one was the Scar,
Do you
which
think
was
crafting
fucking
should
OP.
be put more into these battle royales? Because I mean,
The way Apex is doing it.
Apex has it, but also Super People has their own way of crafting as well.
Let me answer
okay.
your question with a side question around. Did you guys ever play The Last of Us?
Yes.
Did you ever play Last of Us online
Yes.
multiplayer?
Yes.
Crafting like that.
I don't fully remember it. The
Yeah, I mean,
way
you would find the
you'd find
materials in the map,
right.
and then you would have to like actually spend like 30 seconds to craft it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Um
To an
But you
extent,
also had
yes.
that's
you could
kind
start.
of what Super People is doing. So Super
Yeah.
People, you find certain materials, and depending on the materials you have, depends on what you can create. And yeah, that's kind of how The Last of Us did it. Yeah. So something like that
I'd
would
be
be
okay with
awesome.
that.
Um,
I would like an idea of that where you can make your own Molotovs or something.
yeah.
You could craft your own extended mag or some shit. I don't know. Like that
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
because like Last of Us was my favorite thing to do was to craft a little like mine. You take a can and some nails, and you just fucking bloop,
Oh,
pop it around a
I
corner,
fucking love that.
insta down. You
Yeah.
double bomb it, and it's a dead every time.
The multiplayer for that game and Uncharted was so underrated. Like those games were really fun for multiplayer, surprisingly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they actually kept The Last of Us one going for a good minute too.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
mean, it
multiplayer
was
was
one of my
ass?
favorites. Hmm.
When
Fucking Red Dead 1.
Oh, I loved Red Dead Redemption.
I hated that
oh,
I
multiplayer
loved
no,
so
it
I
much.
loved,
so
dude.
much.
That multiplayer was so much fun.
It was so fun.
It was like an updated, much better version of GTA 4 online.
Hmm. But
And
much like all the GTA Online games, blatant hackers with no repercussions.
yeah,
Any
but
online game from Rockstar, terrible with hackers.
I honestly I wouldn't know. I never really played multiplayer that much except for Red Dead 1, but
Well, all right, well, we're saying like Red Dead Revolver or like Red Dead Redemption.
Billy, we talked about this the other day. Wait, it wasn't with you. It was with Geo. Geo said this. I'm like, that is the most fucking pretentious thing you could say. No one thinks of Red Dead Revolver as Red Dead 1.
right.
It is though.
Is
It
it
is.
though?
You're right. It is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Red
You're
Dead
right.
Redemption is the sequel to
Look,
Red Dead
we're
Revolver.
at the point now where at least half of the gamers don't even know what that game is.
Right.
You know what I like though? So Red
No.
Dead Revolver, right? First game. Red Dead Redemption, sequel to Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead Redemption 2, prequel to Red Dead Redemption.
It's a sequel to Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah.
No. Just no, Billy. No one gives a fuck about your Red Dead Revolver. Especially not Brad. I'm speaking for him right
Brad
now.
exclusively cares about it because he remembers.
The North remembers.
The North will always remember. Speaking of which, are you guys on that Free Folk subreddit?
I'm yes,
use
but I
Reddit,
don't
so
pay
no.
attention to it.
It's been how long? It's been what? 4 years since it ended? Or 3 years?
Not that long.
I think it was 3 years
Uh,
since it ended.
Well, hold on. I was living here,
Yeah.
so it's been at least 2. I think it's 2 years.
No way, it did not end in 2020.
Hold on.
But
2019.
so 3 years. That that subreddit is still kicking and talking mad shit, dude. Like
I would too.
they have not missed a beat when it comes to talking shit about how bad Game of Thrones ended.
They fucked up the best story that you could do.
Yeah.
That was the best show on TV, and they fucked it up from season 6 and on.
It also didn't help that the author was being a lazy bitch and not actually finishing the books.
Still being a lazy bitch and not finishing the fucking
Yeah.
books. That man is morbidly obese. He's going to die before those books are released.
Yeah, I don't even think he's going to finish the next one. What is it? Winds of
Well-
Winter that they're waiting on?
Supposed to be.
Yeah. Not going to finish
Been
it.
like 7 years since the last book came out or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Being an author's got to be hard. I get it. No. Also, okay, I'm talking shit about the guy, but man, I really fucking hope Elden Ring's great.
That's actually what he's been working on the entire time. Like he was thinking about starting the next book, but then he's like, maybe I should work on a video game story.
This Japanese guy said, like, hey, do you want to give me a story for a hard game?
Yeah, right?
And he was like, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to make it even more confusing than the last books I wrote. There's going to be no context to any lore.
Dark Souls is already super convoluted, so I welcome it.
It's going to actually no, it'll line up pretty well with how bad Game of Thrones ended. Like, you know, no one finding out what the whole spiral thing was about from the White Walkers. Stuff like that. There's going to be stuff like that in Elden Ring. There's just going to be no actual context to it. It's just going
Or
to be there.
the baby White Walker shit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever, the horn that fucking Sam Tarley found.
Or the fact that Jon Snow isn't actually the prophecy. He's just
Or
some
just
guy.
the fact that Jon Snow's a Targaryen. Expand on that. Don't just be like, hey, I'm a Targaryen. I don't really want to fuck my aunt, but I do. That's about it.
I mean, come on.
We just
Who would? I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah. Can we just talk about like all of the spin-offs that probably portrayed Game of Thrones better than Game of Thrones itself did? All of the comedic spin-offs.
The comedic spin-offs. What spin-offs?
Or I guess probably
He's
spin-offs isn't
not,
the
spin-offs isn't the right word, but like South Park making fun of it.
yeah, or
Um,
like Robot Chicken making fun of it.
Yeah.
Call themselves the White Joggers.
The white joggers. Well, it's been fun, boys. So
Don't you run out of topics already?
no.
It's bedtime already, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
pretty
I know.
much. I got my schedule changed again. So
We started the
Yeah, and-
podcast early, and I'm ready to go to bed.
right.
Now you know how I feel all the way through it.
But at least we actually did it this time. So
Rue, I can't wait to get this uploaded in 3 weeks.
heels, yeah, brother. Anyways,
Should we do like announcements like check our next episode on
oh yeah, to our one fan, yeah, definitely.
The next episode of Beer Nonsense Podcast, Z gets hair on his head.
What are you talking about?
Is this the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, right.
Z
Alright,
shaped
boys.
Next
dude with
week,
nair
one of
once.
the members will be dead. Who will it be?
All of us. Spoiler
You know-
alert.
Spoiler alert: Brad's been dying for like the last 12 years, so he's gonna be the first one, if anything.
12 years would pin me at 15. I've been dying much longer than that.
Probably. But I don't know. I just wanted to say 12 years, just cause.
12 years a cripple.
What?
Okay, what, bye guys.